No, exactly. No, well, at first, I wanted to be a band director, but then I also had to make money while I was going to school. So I worked in kitchens and developed a real passion for cooking and for food, and ended up going to culinary school. And so that was kind of my first foray into nutrition and the food world. And that spiraled into a passion for wine, and ended up really getting into wine and learning about it, and ended up selling wine professionally for about 7 years as I worked for a distributor selling it to restaurants. And
Okay.
that's kind of where my health journey begins. Is it was all eating all the wrong types of foods and drinking way too much, and just that lifestyle of selling wine in restaurants. It was a lot, and I started that job in my late 20s, and did that until my mid 30s. But in 2013, my dad had a stroke at the age of 58, at a very very young age. Yeah, and he survived it, luckily, but was never quite the same, mentally, physically, all that kind of stuff. And so that was kind of one of my first oh shit moments, is what
Yeah,
I'd like to call
yeah.
them, right? When something like that happens in your life, how do you react to that, right? And that really prompted me to go to the doctor for the first time in probably 10 plus years at that point, and got some blood work done, and it all came back. Most of those markers were on the wrong side, and I had elevated blood sugar to the point where I was pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, like you name it, I had it basically at that point. And again, I'm in my late 20s at this point, and just like, wow, I thought these were all things that you kind of got later in life, right? And so that kind of prompted a little bit of researching into nutrition, and going gluten free for the first time was kind of the biggest step, where I was like, oh wow, like okay, I feel better, I have more energy, my joints don't hurt when I go for runs anymore, that kind of stuff, right? So that was kind of my first thing into like, oh, well, like food can actually have a benefit to the body. And so after that, I was still kind of going, working in the wine industry, trying to get healthy. But it was really kind of a net negative, because I was still eating all the wrong things when I was out, but when I was home, I was trying to eat healthy. And I was married at the time. We're divorced now, but my wife was going through a lot of health issues as well.
Mm,
And she's 5 years younger than me. So she had a lot of anxiety, depression, panic attacks, those kind of things that were going on. And once we went gluten free, those panic attacks went away in about 3 months and just disappeared. And so that was kind of her first like wake up call, right? It was like, wow, okay, like this can actually make some changes in our life. And she got so passionate about it that she wanted to go get a certification in nutrition and learn more about it. And so when she did that, I became her first practice client. And so she was, teaching me everything she was learning while she was going through school, and getting me on a good supplement plan and all that. And, really started to look at, how food is affecting our bodies, and how our lifestyles were directly impacting that as well, right? Our jobs were, very demanding, very stressful, and just that amount of stress and what that does to the body on top of having a poor diet can just really exacerbate things even further. So, but over the couple years that she was going to school and learning all this stuff, I started applying a lot of that to what I was doing professionally, and started to lose weight and reverse those conditions that I had, and reversed all those naturally. And kind of got to the point where I was feeling really good, but didn't really want to be in the wine industry anymore, because I could just see the future of that, right?
yeah.
And where that was leading me. And so I kind of got to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and went back to working in restaurants, and took a whole big step back. But I was healthier and I was happier for it,
Yeah.
right?